What's up everybody, Brett here, back with Kingdom Rush HD, the PC version of the mobile Kingdom Rush game. And I'm bringing you back here for episode 3, picking up where we left off. The last thing I was trying to do was finish Silver Oak Forest on heroic mode, and I wasn't able to do that for you guys on video. So I did it in my free time, and it took me quite a few more tries to get it right. Once you do certain levels enough times, you kind of start to see the code in the matrix, so to speak, and you really, to me it's the fun of a tower defense game. You start to break down the levels at different stages and change your builds to counter those different stages. So one thing I found that was always essential was getting all 4 of the Sylvan Elves as an opener, placing them close to the edge so that they can also shoot this lane, but then having to protect them quite heavily from the bandits and their high attack damage. So giving them a nice meat shield for them to use their significant range damage. Never want them to be in melee. So this is step number 1. Now as these units travel down this path, bandits always go here, brigands always go here with their armor, and spiders of course always come from the forest here. So what I ended up doing was something that I felt was counter to what the map itself wanted me to do. It seems like what it wants you to do is mass rangers, take advantage of this newly unlocked tower, and perhaps get its magical upgrades. And I feel like maybe the first time I ever played through this game, or maybe when I played through on veteran and did all these challenges, I figured out that strategy, but this time I wasn't able to do it. So my build was much more well-rounded. And here, so this was my opening build, and lots of splash damage to deal with the spiders. The Sylvan Rangers here deal very well with the light armor, the no armor of the bandits, and later, as needed, I added these mage towers to these 2 positions. The mage tower here also helps with bandits to make sure that your elves don't get overrun, and a mage tower here adds to that fire to deal with the high armor of the brigands and the big brigands. I don't remember their names, but the medium armor having, high health having single units that come through here eventually. And I found that was a pretty good strategy. And let's see, I put another barracks here as I went along. This was an archer tower that I upgraded all the way and added poison to, in an attempt to poison the units as they ran by and let that damage over time tick, so that when they eventually got to these points, they were very low enough to be one shot by an elf or a dwarven bombard. So that's pretty much the build. Ended up not getting too many of the upgrades here, but focusing more on upgrading the dwarven bombards so that when these spiders start to mass, you are able to nuke them down. And at different stages, different waves, at a certain wave, the bandits can really overwhelm this part of the map. So I like to hold gold in reserve to quickly upgrade the barracks, spawn another 3 guys, and at some point I had to kind of dance them around to keep them from engaging in melee, doing something like that and then putting them back into position. So it was a little bit of a fancy maneuver to keep them alive. They are a huge investment. This is 400 gold that can very easily die to these bandits. And then on another wave, I was finding, I think it was wave 5, the spiders were overwhelming me. And at that point I was focusing heavily on upgrading the bombards and getting to the Rangers upgrade that roots down units in an AoE around the tower. And that was really good. Locking them in place so that the bombards could fire ended up being the effective strategy that won me this particular map. So let's exit out of here. Just wanted to break that down for you guys that were curious how I did it. And you'll see here, proof, I did it. Okay, so next is going to be a very fun stage here. It's the Citadel. And let me me read this for you guys. After several days, we have arrived at our capital city of Lineria. The time has come to make a stand and defend Lineria's southern walls. In addition to your highly experienced units, the king adds 2 units to your battalions. The arcane wizards will provide superior firepower, and the pious paladins will inspire the troops with their bravery. So we're going to get 2 new units here, or 2 new tower types rather, and that is the arcane, the first upgrade we get for the mage tower. Very powerful, excellent against armored enemies. They have very strong single target damage, and you're going to see that almost certainly this map. So, and then we also have Holy Order of the Paladins, and very high defenses. They can also do damage. I want to say they have an upgrade that gives them a damaging attack, and they have very high armor. They're great at holding your most vulnerable checkpoints.
Give me a target.
Alright. So let's see. We also start with these paladins here. Sir Dante, Sir Sande, Sir Caspian, Sir Roland. Okay. These guys, if they die, they do not respawn. So we want to protect them. We want to keep them alive if possible. And to do that, we are going to put some of our soldiers in front of them. So you'll notice here we have 1 gate through which they all have to pass, but they will have 3 spawning areas. So instead of trying to cover all 3 spawning areas, we're going to focus on our 2 major choke points here and hold them there. And let's see, we're also going to just depends on how we want to do this, where we want to place these towers. Let's use the inside towers here, and we're going to back them up even more, getting some units in front of them. We're going to let our respawnable guys damage sponge for these high damage dealing paladins. And let's see, get some dwarven bombards here, and 2 mage towers. So you have to figure that in maps where they give you a particular upgrade, that upgrade is going to be useful on that map. So I'm predicting high armored units, and I think that's what we're going to see. And we have our first battle here with our new hero, Illyria Swiftwind, and she is great at taking down flying units, which we haven't seen yet. She does magic damage with one of her range attacks, and as she levels, she'll summon a wildcat, which gives you a second body to hold down a particular lane. So let's get started. We spent our gold quite effectively. And a good little trick when you have 2 choke points is to use your hero unit in one of them and to use your reinforcements in the other. And they balance out nicely. She's already level 2, and there she goes using her magic shot ability. Let's call these next wave early. We're going to need the gold. Here we have some medium armored brigands. The magic damage on these should do fine. She's level 3, and at level 4 I believe she unlocks her Wildcat. So Dark Knight, new enemy, fully plated, corrupted knights, almost impervious to damage. So they're our first enemy that we encounter that has heavy armor. And that's the game's hint of how important these mage towers are going to be for us. And if he comes to engage here, we're going to drop a fireball on him. And he does not. But we'll still drop a fireball to kill some of these goblins. Make sure that we are holding that choke point. And let's upgrade this tower here. Give it the best range we can. And move our hero out of the way right before she dies. And she levels and heals herself. So that was a nice little clutch play. We don't want to take damage on these paladins quite yet if we don't need to. We have no way of healing them. And our towers are doing fine, taking down these orcs here. And she's doing so well. Here's the Wildcat. 250 health, 6 to 8 damage, no armor. And we'll check as she gets leveled to see if the Wildcat increases in strength. I'm not sure if it does. And let's upgrade the Ranger Tower. Now we have full coverage of this entire zone, which is excellent. And here we go, the first flying units that we're going to see this game. And I want to call them early, just to use this fireball, get these guys off the board. And let's build mage towers here in the back line. Mage towers and archer towers are the only ones that can hit hit flying units rather. And that's probably what this will tell us. Gargoyles. They can fly right past barracks and artillery. And they're not super fast. Later they'll probably be faster units. And let's hope that our defenses here are enough. She's gonna 100% hold this side. So I'm not worried about that. What I am worried about is this side slightly. So I'm going to upgrade this as soon as I can. Actually, I'm going to upgrade this one because I don't... Yeah, there we go. I didn't have a lot of confidence that that wouldn't leak. A little bit less effective to have the upgrade go here. Would be preferable to have it here. But I think by the end of this, there's 17 waves that these will all be upgraded. And I'm not focusing on upgrading the Dwarven Bombards quite yet, because I think we're less in danger of leaking from the high-mast goblins than we are from letting some of these big guys through. Wildcat is doing work. Oh, and here we have some of our first truly scary enemies, the Shadow Archers. Deadly accurate archers that will shoot at nearby soldiers in their path. So when you see these archers, you want to tuck your soldiers away from them. Force them to run into range of your longer range towers. They have a little bit of magic resistance, and if you're not careful, they will clear all of your soldiers out and allow these other guys to run past. So let's get our hero away. And here you'll see our paladins are helping us now. Let's upgrade here for the range. And we can summon early. A nice little trick is to drop your reinforcements right on top of them. And then they have to engage in melee, and at that point they can't shoot you guys. Level 6 on Illyria. And I kind of want to upgrade this to poison arrows. May not be necessary yet, and our paladins are taking damage. That's not good. Let's upgrade here and here. And start dropping reinforcements on top of these guys. And the paladins do seem to regenerate their health, so that's great. I didn't remember them doing that. Illyria died. It's not bad. She'll respawn somewhat quickly. And there we go. Just in time to help us take out these units here. Let's get tier 3, the Wizard Tower, on both sides. And now that our single target air clear is very strong, I'm confident that we can upgrade either our barracks or start putting some of the abilities on our ranger hideout. I don't remember what all the abilities of the Arcane Wizard Tower are. I remember one of them is a high damage single target laser ability. But the damage is huge. 40 to 74 increased to 76 to 140. That's such a big increase. And let's quickly get it and see what it does. So here, disintegrate one enemy every 20 seconds. Powerful, very powerful against those Dark Knights. And here we also have teleports a group of up to 4 enemies a random distance back down the path every 10 seconds. Also very strong. And I think that's going to be good in conjunction with Wrath of the Forest. Enemies get locked in place long enough for the teleport to come off cooldown, which then allows the whole process to sort of start again. Let's see if our Wildcat gets any damage, and he does. He's actually up to 500 HP and doubled in damage. So very strong. Let's position her a little bit better to take advantage of her range, because she does 13 to 21 damage, not counting her magical attacks. Okay, let's move her up even more and take advantage of that. And they're doing just a ridiculous amount of damage to these ogres. And even though these shaman have high magic resistance, the damage on these towers is still so strong. It almost doesn't matter. Let's upgrade the poison and call some people early. And we can drop fire on them. They do have high armor, but they are still weak to the damage from the fireballs. I'm not finding these Dwarven Bombards being very effective. It would be nice to have something with higher range on the outside here. Let's fall back with her. Get her a good line of sight. Let's keep dropping our reinforcements on them. And I think at this point it's safe to call the next wave early. And instead of upgrading these frontline guys anymore, because they're just going to get shot at all the time by the Shadow Archers, we're going to upgrade our back line. And we're going to get full-blown knights here. And then we're going to get our first paladin unit. So very cool. You see these guys are just getting shot to death, and we don't want that to happen to our paladins. They cost too much to let that happen. And a level 9 hero is doing a great job of keeping those Shadow Archers out of the fight on that side. And let's look at some of the abilities of the paladins while we have a second here. Call the next wave early. Enhances paladins, making them more resilient, and that upgrades them to have heavy armor, I believe. They have a chance of dealing 25 to 45 area damage, which is very good. And they can heal themselves. So I like to get one of each. That makes them very diverse. They do more damage, they take less damage, and when they do take damage, they heal. So that kind of kit all together I find very effective. So let's give them the abilities to heal at the very least. Right now, these upgrades are not very effective. We're managing to hold them here. We can almost sell these and get 2 more mage towers, but on waves like this, it's nice to have the ability to clear out lots of these little goons. And I'm going to get Wrath of the Forest, mostly because I want to see if it procs, where exactly it procs, and if it does it in a 360 AoE or just in an area. I don't quite recall. So I think that's worth experimenting to remember. And let's put her here. If they're all going to come down the center, then we're going to damage them in that one spot. This is so annoying. Let's upgrade these. They'll have an easier time of dealing with the clumped up Shadow Archers, and they'll be much less of an issue. So this is very effective. And positioning our hero here is now level 10. See if the Wildcat, yeah, it did. It increased even more. That's very strong. 750 life with that much damage added to her life and damage. We're going to call the next wave early. Can make a lot of gold on the flying levels. So here we're getting lots of Dark Knights. Tempting to get the Death Rays and get that working, but I think more effective than that will be if we just get 2 more of these towers. For the cost of the death ray upgrade, I mean we can pay for this upgrade and half of the next one. So that's what we're gonna do. And our paladins are now in the fight. They have solid damage and good armor. And it's almost safe to call the next wave early. I'm not that scared. Let's get another arcane tower there. Let's pull her back. We don't want her engaged in melee with these heavy hitters. Golem heads. So a little bit of foreshadowing here. And here's the boss, wave 17. We're going to move our hero to one side. I don't remember his path, so this could be a little bit scary. We have a lot of gold, so let's spend that. Yeah, and I had a feeling he was going to drop these little golems behind our back line, so good to get that going. He's damaging our paladins. And depending on where he goes, I think he's going to come up this way. Keep dropping our reinforcements on him. Making sure she's not engaged in melee with him. Our paladins having the ability to heal is turning out to be great. Making that back line solid. Making sure our hero is constantly attacking. Forcing him to pause and deal with our reinforcements. Having him poison is also very strong. And we're going to drop this on him. I don't think it'll do that much damage. He has 10,000 HP. Make sure our Wildcat is fighting him. Even though he surely one-shots him. Almost one-shots him. Took 3 attacks there. Let's just upgrade. This is our first boss, so the Juggernaut, pretty cool. There are lots of boss fights in this game and in the later Kingdom Rush games. I think the poison damage did a ton of work on him. Constantly scooting up our hero to be in range. So there we go, achievement unlocked, Nuts and Bolts and Imperial Savior. 3 stars, very good. And that was quite the fun boss battle here. So each boss battle comes at the end of each of these stages. So here we'll get into the ice themed maps, new enemies and new towers, very fun. But before we do that, let me check out our tier 4 upgrades. But before we do that, let's check out the limitations for the heroic and iron challenges. So still upgrades level 3. Oh, this iron challenge looks fun. We can only use soldiers. Interesting. So we're still limited by level 3 upgrades. So we're gonna go with this route here. We'll drop fire, more meteors, and done. Okay, and we'll bring, doesn't matter which hero we bring because we can't use them here. So let's try iron mode. That looks fun. Okay, so it gives us 2 wizard towers to start. Good. And we're gonna go with the same strategy of protecting. Here's the golem, the Juggernaut's head back here. It's funny. We're gonna protect these paladins and keep them alive, knowing that they heal like they do. Not letting them take all the damage seems good. And we're going to stack right in front of them. We want to be within range of our arcane wizard towers. Not quite enough to get another one of the barracks, but that's okay. We're just going to drop our reinforcements on that side and up and get that as soon as we can. And since we're getting swarmed, it may not have been the best idea to upgrade these first. It might have been better to go ahead and get a lot of barracks, maybe tier 2 barracks, because this is a lot of guys. Let's make another little stack here. Reinforce this side. We're doing fine at the moment. They're barely making it to the paladins, so we're doing fine. And we can make another little spot here in front of these three. And we're going to hold off on spending that gold because we may not need to do that. I don't know what the enemies are. I don't think they would give me a map like this and then put in a ton of those shadow archers, because that would be miserable. Upgrade one of these three just to have some heavier hitters in here while the weak guys absorb all that damage. And we want them further back. We want to make sure that they're always fighting in range of this mage tower. We're not trying to hold them back. We want them fighting right here. Upgrade these. Might be nice to try and go for the teleports. We shall see. We do seem to want more damage here, and I think we're only going to get that from the knights and paladin upgrades. And I say we want more damage just because they're throwing shamans at us. We want to be able to burst them down quickly so that they don't get a chance to use those heals. And I think we're going to go for paladins. They're pretty cheap. 230 is cheap for how strong they are. It's easy to think that they don't do a lot of damage, but 12 to 18 per attack, and there's 3 of them constantly respawning. That's very cost effective. And once you get either this upgrade or this upgrade, they really don't die. Certainly not against orcs and goblins. Looking to get another paladin here. Keep it symmetrical. And if they start clumping up around these healers, we're gonna drop some fire on them. Let's drop fire on that side. See if we can't burst these guys down quickly. Let's get our paladins. And let's give our paladins some better backup. And this might be the end. I would have liked to showcase their upgrades. Okay, more guys coming. They were just slow rolling. Got them the heals. We want to get these paladins the heals as well. They're a little bit higher up than I want them to be. And that's fine. Getting the death rays would be good. I want to say they prioritize high HP targets. I don't think they save the cooldown necessarily. Like, let's say there are no high HP targets, I don't think they just don't shoot it. But if they have a choice between several targets running by, I think they choose the high health one and not just the one that's out front. That would be pretty bad if they did that. So here we can grab that. And I want to showcase the Death Ray as well. And they're kind of begging you to get it here with the Marauders. Come on, we almost got it. And then whichever side gets the Death Ray, I'll start dropping reinforcements on the other side. So there we go. Hopefully we'll see it, and it'll look like a really powerful straight laser, and you'll see someone get disintegrated. And it said it does it every 10 seconds. So let's see. Huh, I would have expected to see it by now. There we go, I think that was it. The laser looks more straight instead of that kind of wavy. And that's how you know it did the attack. Not sure if that's worth it. Let's try the teleport, just so you can see it, and I'll just reinforce this side. Yeah, let's drop some fire. Clear that up. And we can upgrade the armor on our paladins. So you see here they now have high armor. So they can stand and fight. With the heal and the high armor, they're going to do just fine. See, and it zapped a super low health guy, and that's kind of the loss of value I'm talking about. But the teleport did work. It brought them right back here to the fight. So that was great. Yeah, I mean, it does so much damage anyway that for it to have a single target attack like that almost seems not worth. Now, if it manages to ever kill a guy with 600 HP in one shot, you're getting a lot of value, but I don't know if it's worth it for the price. Lock them down. And if you look, you'll see the paladins doing their heals, they're doing their like holy strikes. We'll upgrade the guys on this side. See what they're called? Yeah, holy strikes, okay. And the teleport is actually doing more work than the single target damage. You see we lost our paladins there, but they're not necessary. Yeah, the teleport, it seems to have quite a good range. It seems to have the exact same range as the tower itself. So, how many seconds is that? I didn't get a chance to read it. Let's see. Every 10 seconds, and this is every 20 seconds, so I was getting them confused. The teleport, to me, is certainly greater value. And there you go, they do an area attack. So, on maps where Dwarven Bombards maybe aren't feasible, you can rush their area attack, and it gets quite strong. You see 75 to 135 damage on that. It is huge. And they'll give you the AoE you need. Especially if you can stack two of them right in the same area. You'll see they're just constantly doing it. One more star, can't get anything unfortunately. And let's try for the heroic challenge here. Okay. I'm expecting... So there's lots of bandits, brigands, and knights. Okay. Not sure how much we want to alter our original build. Let's see if that's still good. We'll go with that until proven otherwise. And maybe instead of putting the Dwarven Bombards here, let's just put Mage Towers there.
Might and magic. Like a charm. For the king! Have at thee!
Back up our Paladin buddies.
Charge!
And yeah, let's go with another Mage Tower. They're cheaper, and if they don't try and swarm us, they'll be more effective. And here we'll use this in the center again, and look to upgrade it as soon as possible. I always like having one poison tower near the beginning of the map.
To battle! Freedom!
Don't want to let this first wave kill our Paladin buddies.
Reinforce!
Yeah, they do so much damage. Let's upgrade these footmen. Here we go, flyers are coming. And this may be a case of we need to go quality over quantity. Our mage towers aren't doing a lot of damage yet, and I would love to call this early, but we're having trouble with these dark knights here. Let's not let them kill these paladins early. We don't want that. Give them a little help. And these air waves are good waves for our guys to recover. Fortunately, this wasn't a waste. This will protect us from leaking. No point to summoning, they can't hit the air, but good to keep the reflex up. And let's summon early. Try and get to tier 3 on these. $40 to 70 damage is great, considering these guys have 160 life. And let's give these guys some sponges up here to tank some of that damage. Our paladin buddies are taking a good bit of damage. We managed to reinforce them at the last second. Keep the symmetry. And we do want to get this using poison and having the better range. Because right now it was a good bit of gold invested, but it's not paying off because it's shooting all of its low armor piercing attacks at all of these heavily armored units. It does have an upgrade that allows some of its attacks to pierce armor, but poison does that just as well. These guys are more clumped up, so I'm going to give them the fire. Get that damage. damage increase is substantial, and it's really not that expensive of an upgrade. And we lost one of our paladins, which sucks. Well, we might lose the second one here. And we did. So this side is weaker, we need to remember that. Let's get some poison. And the next upgrade of the poison is so... It's still so expensive, but it doubles the damage. Let's upgrade these guys, make them more resilient. And we can go for knights. We don't want to leak, so get that side under control. Remembering that they do have the weak side now. We can get paladins. But I'm going to go for Path of the Forest. Yeah, especially with these little buggers on the field. Upgrading these guys might have been a mistake because they're the ones that are going to take all this fire. Should have upgraded these, sitting back here safely. But hopefully all of this damage coming from this archer tower is enough to lock them down. Get those upgraded, doubling their damage output, giving them a little bit better range. Do I call early? It's a lot of armor. Mostly just wanted to get this off cooldown as fast as possible. This side is our weak side. We should have been reinforcing here. And I think it's safe to call early now. Would love to see an air wave, but we're on wave 6 now. There we go. I want to see these guys spreading the poison around. Reinforcing this side. Let's give them paladins. This tower is doing a lot of work. Let's upgrade its poison. You'll see the damage is ticking away on these guys. They'll be nice and soft by the time they get to our front lines. Upgrade there because they're missing their paladins once again. It's important to remember. But these guys are hanging in there. But nothing really counters these except for range. And dropping your reinforcements right on top of them. We can get more paladins here and give them the ability to heal. Do the same for these guys. And I think we've done it. Awesome. 4 dead guys in the corner here. Super Mario is the achievement we unlocked. I'm guessing because we got lots of stars. And let's look at our upgrades real quick. So we do have the tier 3 archer upgrade, which allows them to ignore a portion of the enemy's physical armor. I don't know if, let's say you're shooting at a high armor unit, if that brings them down to a medium armor unit. Just drops them a tier. That would be quite effective. This further increases the mage's attack damage, which is absurd. All of these upgrades are very good, but they won't. Let's see, we have two stars going into the next one. Let's look at the map, and I'm going to read the story blurb here. And it's Goldstep Mines. Our capital is safe thanks to you, General. Now our good king has entrusted you with the mission of creating a safe passage through the mountains so that we may strike Valor Duel and defeat Veznan and his armies. The first step in your journey will be the Goldstep Mines, which were abandoned years ago and are now home to the Akraj troll tribes. To aid you in your mission, you will be joined by a brigade of His Majesty's Royal Musketeers. So that is the other upgrade for the archers, and they are awesome. They are long-range sniper unit. So because this is going to be a musketeer-centric map and we're getting snipers, let's go ahead and increase their range even more. And because, well, I don't value this skill very highly until you have lots of stars and you're able to unlock, like this is a 10-second cooldown reduction. Once you get into here, it's great. I mean, reducing this by 20 seconds lets you cast it a lot. But these towers are always firing, these are always summoning units, so they're much more consistent damage. So I'm not going to reset anything. I think this is fine. And let's keep this hero for now. And let's jump into Goldstep Mines. And I think after I do this, if I'm successful, that'll be it for today. It'll be about an hour. Long video for you guys. Let's see, Musketeer, patient, careful, and deadly accurate. Long-range Deadeye shooters with advanced weaponry. They have the greatest range and very high damage. So this map is set up for them. Let's blow some goats. I almost feel like this was one of those cool little like hidden Easter egg things. Maybe I'm thinking of another map where you can actually recruit the mammoth or something like that. Let me know if you've ever played the games and you remember that. But this map is set up for the musketeers. We have long, windy routes. Now, a little surprise that the enemies do in this map, they go into the mines and they come out other mines. So it's not, this isn't a one path deal, which would make it quite easy. It's substantially trickier than that. So we are going to build as if this is our one lane for now, and we'll back that up with some long range towers, some musketeers probably, that will allow us to hit all of these lines. So let's go with that.
Archers ready?
We really want, I would love to put a soldier unit here. It didn't give us a ton of gold to start with. I think this is pretty safe to make a barracks. Keep them here as far forward as possible.
Swift.
Let's bring our hero up to the front and we can kite down with her. That'll be good. And she'll get lots of levels fast. It would be nice to have a Dwarven Bombard here. I feel like one barracks isn't enough. But if we kill enough of them before they get to here and then before they can like shoot out, it should be fine. Should be fine. Yeah. Let's make, this is our first choke point, and these are our two best choke points, here and here. So building up on these are our best bets. And we don't need necessarily the great range from a musketeer right at the start here. But poison might be quite nice, hitting every single unit that comes through. And also a Dwarven Bombard, which when upgraded is going to hit this entire area. So I think that's fine. And let's upgrade here. We managed to spend all of our gold exactly. Let's see how this works. Being able to drop all of our reinforcements in one spot and know we're getting guaranteed damage is really solid. Of course, we get bandits first. They're kind of just like a check. They're like, did you build all soldier units? Because if you did, they're all going to die. Call them early. 17 extra gold. So the game itself definitely keeps you honest by staggering the different types of waves in such a way that you can't ever just spam a certain type of tower and expect to be successful. And we're going to upgrade these to footmen ASAP, make them more survivable. Let's get her back so she can fire and use her special abilities. I want to get her to 4 as quick as possible so that she can have her wildcat. And there we go, there he is. So far we're able just to hold them back here. Very good, 16 waves. And a flying wave, okay. Okay, I don't think the flyers go through the tunnels. And since I sort of wanted to put... I feel like the game wants me to put a musketeer here. So let's get that quickly. And we can fireball these guys if we need to. Shouldn't hesitate to do that. Don't want to quite call these guys early yet, but we will. I think we're fine. And a musketeer here will be able to hit this top lane and this bottom lane. And that's what I'm counting on. Let's hold them here. This lights up and it's indicating that these wolves are going to run through. So we stop them there. New enemy, trolls. Very tough warriors that can regenerate their wounds quickly. Very high damage, health regeneration, average speed. So you want to burst these guys down. You don't want to let them sit and regen. But once again, we have all of our enemy right here in front of us. So that's good. Let's go for the Rangers first, and we're gonna get these guys next. Leak a little here, and they're making it through. We're not doing enough burst damage to them. They're getting the opportunity to regenerate, which is no good. And this defensive line we have back here is really weak. Our hero died. The trolls, let's look at their stats. 20 to 40 damage, and they have pretty high health. Yeah, let's firebomb these guys as soon as possible. Start putting poison on everyone. It is part of our strategy. Get her to level 6. And we're going to upgrade this to level 3 whenever we get the chance and get these guys to level 3 as well. The combination of the Paladin's AoE attack with the Dwarven Bombard is really strong synergy. And I'm going to call these guys early, because we got this. Poison's very good against these guys as well. Just have to tag them one time, and the poison will do the rest. And let's remember that there is air coming. At some point, winter wolves. Cunning and deadly, these beasts can defeat all but the best warriors. Magic resistance, can dodge melee attacks, and they are very fast. So they also have really high attack damage. And we might burn the first bit here. But I like not doing that because I want to see how well we do. Okay, so it doesn't quite reach this range. I might have been thinking of their sniper shot ability.
Reinforce!
But we're doing great. And we can even get another sniper here, and I think it'll still cover this bottom area. Let's get the roots. We'll lock them down here at the beginning and then let them take massive AoE damage. And the marksman towers, in addition to their sniper shot, which you read here has a chance of killing an enemy, they also have a shrapnel shot, which does great AoE damage. Let's not let her die here. Let the archer tower pick these guys apart with poison. And I think this is a good time to upgrade to knights and give our guys a chance to fight here. And I wish this was already upgraded. We're so close. There we go. Unfortunately, because we're leaking already, we're not shooting into these huge blobs. Let's move her out of the way. So, as we get these kills, we want to spend this gold on upgrading our back line. And they're doing a great job of covering. Let's kill that, Jesus. Yeah, he's doing a great job of covering our back line. Let's call the next wave early. And if we don't have to, I don't want to upgrade these. And let's get the sniper shot and see it in action. And we'll upgrade this to a footman barracks. Maybe drop a mage tower there. If all we're going to leak is heavy armored units, then the mage tower is going to be great at finally picking them off. They're right outside of our range. Call this early and kill these guys right as they come through. And they have magic resistance, but we did take half their HP off, which is not nothing. And we're taking so much damage there. Let's get more musketeers. Our hero's dying, but not for nothing. Hopefully we don't leak here.
If it bleeds, I can kill it.
Close calls. Lots more armor up here than I thought there was going to be this map. I was expecting a lot of trolls, not all of this heavy armor. Let's upgrade this quickly. I think we're going to barely get them. These magic towers aren't great against these wargs, but once it's upgraded, it'll do great against these trolls, it'll do great against the flyers, and all of this armor we're getting. And there we go, we managed to get it. We did not fail quite yet. We'll get another... Might be worth getting another ranger here. And putting our musketeer, or maybe getting the ranger here. Putting another musketeer in the center. But you can see we're getting lots more flyers. But we're doing fine.
Archers ready. Reinforce.
I think we can safely call the next wave here and nuke it if we have to. Get these wards down so they're not just killing our frontliners. Let's get some paladins. I think that's what we're missing up here. Let's give them their area attack and their heal. And we'll give them their armor as soon as we can. It might not be a major priority, but we do want them to live long enough to be able to heal and to do their AoEs. But I'm going to prioritize getting a second ranger tower and dropping poison on that. This is also the last level, so it should be fine. You know what, let's get shrapnel shot, hopefully, and see it before we win. Because it is a strong ability. But we were able to do it without it. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see it. I didn't get to showcase it. But I'm sure it will be the centerpiece of the heroic and iron runs. So yeah, no soldiers, no artillery. Still blocked at level 3 upgrades. So, oh, and we unlocked 2 new heroes. Okay, so in the mobile version, these are the 3 heroes that you can play with in the game without spending money. I've never played with Bolin Farslayer before, so I'm excited. I'm excited to play with him. Let's select him for the next time and look to use him. And that's pretty fitting that we get to use him on the Musketeer map. And let's go in here, and because we can only use our tier 3 upgrades, we're going to upgrade that. 10-second cooldown reduction on our Meteor Strike. And I'm excited. I'm hyped for the next episode here. And I'm going to call it today. We're a little over an hour. And I had fun. I hope you guys did too. And like I said in the beginning, I'm Brett, and this is my channel, Good Talk Gaming. It's new. I don't have a ton of subscribers yet. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more. And I'll be putting out videos regularly. Daily, I put out 2 to 3 videos. So hopefully there's something amongst all that you like. And if you want to see something else, or if you really like this, leave a comment too, and I will be responding to that. So without too much further ado, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next one.